Our guest this week is the incredibly talented actress who played Lizzie on The Walking Dead. She's also been in Miracles from Heaven, Zoe Valentine, and Players. And if that wasn't enough, she's doing awesome work recording her own music on the side. Brighton Sharbino, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, of course. A lot of people in quarantine are struggling with, what to do. A lot of people just playing Animal Crossing like myself. But based on your YouTube channel, you've been pretty busy.
Yes, it's good because I have siblings, so it's never really that boring because I always have them to bother or do something with or make a YouTube video with it. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you gave your boyfriend a haircut.
I did.
Did you actually cut his ear?
You know what? I did something even worse than that. Yes, I did cut his ear. I really feel bad about that, but he's a good sport. What I did even worse after that I didn't even do for a YouTube video, we wanted to give him highlights, and I bleached his hair, and it turned orange instead of like a regular like blonde color. And yeah, we're dealing with that.
Wow. Wait, so what's his hair color like today?
Now it's purple because
It's purple.
his friend dyed it purple for her TikTok channel. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's
purple.
awesome.
He's been
So,
into it.
wow. So I guess if nothing else works out for you, you can just be a hairstylist, right?
Honestly, yeah, I would like that. Or a makeup artist. I could do both.
Ooh, yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's start from the beginning. You were born and raised in Texas, and you actually started acting at a super early age. Tell me about that.
I started mainly like kind of getting into it when I was like 6, and
Wow.
my first ever job was Barney, and I was so stoked. Like, oh, I'm a Barney, like yes. And then after that, it was Hannah Montana, which again I freaked out over. And
Oh my gosh.
but the more into my career I've gotten, like the more I feel like I've gotten into dramatic, like serious stuff, and I really like it like that because there's a lot more you can do with that. I love both, but
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun with the dramatic roles.
That's awesome. And does your sister act as well?
She does. Saxon acts. She was in the remake of Poltergeist. She was
Right.
on a Fox show called Touch. She was on Netflix's American Vandal. And it's just nice to have someone that you can bounce off of with acting stuff. Like, we can read lines together. And yeah, honestly, I originally just copied her into acting. Like, because she was my sister. I was like, oh, you're doing acting? No, I'm doing acting, you know?
Yeah, based on your YouTube channel and Instagram, it seems like you guys have a really close relationship, which is, kind of rare sometimes.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like will ask us questions like, so are you guys like competitive? Like, are you guys trying to, but it's not that way at all. Like, if she does something good, if she is successful, like it only benefits me too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Wow. So, so how did you get into The Walking Dead?
Okay, so the first audition I had, so since I'm from Texas, I had a Louisiana agent, and they were the ones who like sent it to me because Walking Dead was mainly looking for people in Atlanta. They were doing LA stuff too, but I got the audition through my Louisiana agent, and I just sent in a tape. And I think the main thing that, looking back, like helped me get the role, Lizzie was like written a little crazy, but it was so subtle. They did it in such a subtle way where it's like you wouldn't 100% know they were going in that direction of her being crazy,
Yeah.
It was very subtle. There was like a scene about her, I think, pinching bugs or something, squashing bugs. And I think like a lot of people probably took that as like, when there's something weird or like creepy in a script, I think a lot of times the tendency is to steer away from that. You want to make things seem natural, and like, if that's not like you don't want to do that. But I kind of like leaned into that. Luckily, I had the instinct to like kind of make it weird, even though usually I would want to not make it weird like that. And I kind of played it a little creepy. And I think that's overall what helped me in the end with the part.
Yeah. Was that like kind of intense for you? Because I mean, she was like, dissecting rats and, doing all sorts of like sort of messed up stuff. Was that just like normal to you? I mean, obviously not dissecting rats, but I mean, like, it's just props and stuff, right? So like, how did you like deal with it at the time?
At the time, I was like 10 or 11, so it didn't even like really process with me how weird it was,
Right.
That's why I leaned into that, because like I didn't even think about how weird it was. But when I did know it was there, like when it was something like dissecting like a rat and stuff, that was obviously strange. But I'd already been acting for a while. It sounds weird that I've been acting for a while at the age of 10. Like, that sounds
yeah.
But I'd been acting since I was 6. So I had even played before a hostage and I think it was Prime Suspect, where I had a gun held to my head. And I was like probably 7 or 8 during that. So my mom had taken the like time to like make sure that I knew there was a complete difference between acting and reality, you know?
Yes.
That's even in a weird way more extreme, you know, having a gun held to your head than when you're fake, you know, cutting something up. So I'm grateful that I had the experience beforehand that helped me separate the two, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually spoke to Kyla Kennedy yesterday. We're having her on the podcast the week before yours. We're going to do them in yours is going to be like next week. And you guys actually were friends beforehand, she was telling me.
Yes, I think we're going to hang out today. We're going to try to do something today because she lives really close to me.
Okay.
She like lives like pretty much down the street.
Whoa.
And we went to school together before Walking Dead even ever you know, hired us or auditioned us. So
right. Was that in Atlanta or LA?
No, we went to school here in LA and we were already like best friends. And I think that's another thing that helped us in the end with the chemistry read. Like we obviously were already best friends, so they believed us as sisters, you know?
Right, yeah. So were they not originally gonna cast you guys as sisters, or were you guys both trying out for the same part? How did that work?
We both tried out for the same part, and originally it was supposed to be, there was like my character Lizzie, and then there was like the boy. I think his name was like Micah the boy.
Okay.
And we both tried out for Lizzie, and I think they liked us both and thought maybe we could do sisters, you know? And then when we went to the chemistry read and we explained to them that we were already best friends, I feel like that sold the deal, you know?
Yeah.
And that's so rare. Like at the time, there's so many things that I don't feel like we fully comprehended at the time. Like we didn't even really know how big of a deal Walking Dead was, and also how rare it is to be cast in a huge show with your best friend. Like we were just kind of like, oh, that's cool at the time. Like we were 10, but now like that's insane. Like that never happens.
It's true. It's true. So what was it like, I guess, being on set? Like, what was your typical day like?
Let me think. It was fun. I was staying in Atlanta when we shot the show. It was a little hot. It was humid.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun, you know, because we were younger. Like everybody was extra sweet to us and extra trying to make sure that we felt welcome. And I loved it. It was really great.
Have people come up to you like after the fact? I'm sure they have. After the fact, like kind of thinking maybe you're more like your character than you actually are, and maybe you're a lot nicer in person, probably.
Yes. Now it's not as bad because I've grown up a little bit, so it's not, you know. But at the time, people hated me. Like they were coming through for my neck when I was 11. They were like, I wanted to like kill you, and I was like, okay, like I was happy. But it's a good thing. Like some people were like mad at me, and then I would tell that to other people, and they would say that's a good thing because that means you made them believe that it was real and like actually made them hate you, which seems bad, but for the role that was like a really good thing.
Yeah, no, it was phenomenal acting. How did everyone gets like that famous call about, you know, how it's going to be like your last episode on The Walking Dead. How did that play out for you?
So they told my mom first because, you know, they're not really like going to.
Yeah.
They're not going to call it like an 11-year-old and be like, hey, so you have to get shot in the back of the head. That would be a little strange. So they told my mom and they kind of said it like, we have good news and we have bad news. And the good news was there's going to be an entire episode dedicated to Lizzie and Mika. The bad news is they both will die by the end of the episode. The bad news is they both will die by the end of the episode. And at first I was sad, you know, I was like, no, I don't want to. But at the end of the day, the show's called The Walking Dead. It's got dead in the title. Like you have to expect to die at some point in the show. So I was just grateful that they kind of gave us an episode to, you know, be dedicated to the character's passing.
Absolutely. In the episode, obviously, you have such a memorable performance. It's still regarded, I mean, we are almost in season 11, which is kind of crazy to me. And it's still highly regarded as like a top 5 episode of the series. How did you like muster all the sort of hysteria from that episode? I mean, because you really go all out.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm a little bit of a dramatic person in general, but
it's just a normal day for you.
Yeah, I'm dramatic like that. No, but I don't know. I don't know. I've been acting for a minute, so that obviously helped. But when I actually look back, I never even thought about this. I had this like epiphany recently when I was really young. I've never even said this in an interview before because I didn't even think about this. But when I was like 7 or something, I had a run-in with a lady who was, I think she was on drugs for sure. She
Mm-hmm.
was kind of crazy. I ran into a really crazy lady, and she actually kind of attacked me verbally, and I was really
Oh my
young,
gosh.
and it was like so traumatic at the time because I was from this really small like sheltered town in Texas, and then I came out to LA, and then boom, I got attacked by a crazy person pretty much. But I think, I don't know, she was probably on some sort of drugs, but she was just screaming and yelling at me and basically having a Lizzie style panic attack. And at the time I was like, why did this happen? Like, you just, when bad things happen, sometimes it's hard to see what's the reason for it and what it does for you in the end. But if I hadn't had that interaction that was kind of burned into my brain at the time, I would never have probably booked that part, and I probably would never have been able to perform like that. Because, how else would I have seen a manic panic attack if I hadn't had that interaction with that lady?
Right.
That's what I think I pulled it from.
Wow, that's incredible. I love that story. Thanks for telling that. What also in that episode, Chad and Melissa give like insane performances. What's it like? Sort of. I know this is a long time ago, but what's it like? Acting alongside them, especially with Melissa. I mean, she is so intense and like locked in. Like, does she snap out of it after a take, or does she stay in it? Because I've heard Andrew Lincoln's kind of method.
She, after we're done, completely snapped out of it. Obviously, like before, you kind of want to prep yourself a little bit. But she, for the most part, like she was never crazy ridiculous. Like she never was like ridiculous about it. But right before we'd shoot, she kind of get into the zone. And I feel like that's kind of how it should be. Some people do go full out and they do that the whole time. But when you're as skilled as like Melissa, she has no problem just kind of taking just maybe 2 minutes before or 5 minutes and then going right into it. And I'm like grateful that I got to work with both of them at a young age and have that kind of influence on me.
Yeah. How many takes did the look at the flower scene take?
I don't even know. Not as much as you'd expect because they kind of didn't want to. And the funny thing that I remember now, they have certain like rules against kids being killed on TV, as they should.
Mm.
But
Yeah. Sure.
they have certain rules where I guess I couldn't fall. They had to like get a stunt double to fall. I don't know.
Oh.
For
Huh.
the shooting thing. And I kept on wanting to do it. And I kept on falling and they're like, Brighton, you don't have to do that. Like stop. You just cry and then, we'll cut and then you have the girl fall. But we didn't have that as many takes as you would think. Maybe like 6,
Wow.
7, I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
4. I don't even know.
Wow.
Not very many.
A lot of people obviously, know you from The Walking Dead, but for you, you're probably like, let's move on. I've done so many other things after that. So right after you're off The Walking Dead, what do you do then? Do you get right back into more roles? I know you were on Miracles from Heaven,
Yeah.
playing Jennifer Garner's daughter, which is amazing. Talk me through like what happened after that.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing, once you do something like that, you're kind of like, oh, when's the next thing coming?
Yeah.
Um, but luckily, before I had shot The Walking Dead, I played Woody Harrelson's daughter in Secret, what was it? True Detective. I played Woody
Yeah.
Harrelson's daughter. And I had shot that before Walking Dead, but it came out after.
Hmm.
So that kind of luckily like hit it right after I was on True Detective and just immediately after. And then that was really cool for me because I was like, oh, that played out well. Because now Walking Dead people are starting to know me and then we give them something else. But
Yeah.
then after that is Miracles from Heaven, like total switch from The Walking Dead, as far as you probably could. And that one was sweet. There was still, the thing that was cool about that is there still was like some action in it. So I still had to learn how to do that stunt where, like the trees falling and jump off and all that. So that was fun. I love doing the action stuff so much. And I feel like that was a really good transition because it showed that I could do more than just, horror. I could do, it was a Miracles from Heaven.
Right. Yeah. How are you able to still like go to school like during all this time? I mean, I know actors like will do sort of like they'll sometimes study on set. Did you actually go to a physical school? Like, how did that work?
I went to physical school for fourth grade, and then I booked Walking Dead. Was homeschooled for fifth grade, sixth grade, and then I went back to school for seventh grade. And then
Gotcha.
I homeschooled after that because I just liked homeschooling more. I feel like it's different for everyone. It's funny now because everybody's kind of having to be homeschooled since Corona, but I really liked it because I could work on my own time. And just even the fact that I had the control over when I was doing it made me want to do it rather than feel forced.
Right. I'm curious how you think the industry is going to be sort of when coronavirus kind of like fades out. Like, do you think there's going to be a lot of quarantine content? Do you think there's going to be like all these acting roles open, or do you think it'll be limited? Like, I don't know, like how are you and your maybe actor friends like talking about all this?
I think that they're going to come back with a boom, honestly. I think make up for lost time. And also people have had so much time to sit in their house and like come up with things that they want to do when this is over. So I bet hopefully it'll be back and better.
Yeah, I do too. I hope it's not just too much quarantine content. I feel like every show like This Is Us is going to have like a quarantine episode, but I hope we can just get past that and then keep going because I don't want to keep reliving it, you know?
Oh, I didn't even think about the quarantine content. You're probably right though.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it on like every show. It's a very special episode.
Yeah.
Um, so aside from acting, you've also gotten into music a little bit. And I just saw recently you posted, you had like sort of come up with sort of like a banger like challenge like in 24 hours or whatever like that. And honestly, because I didn't really know what to expect, it actually like kind of slaps. Like it's pretty good. Like I was like, wow. I definitely couldn't come up with anything like that. Who are you working with there?
My friend Jared
Okay.
Bear. I think his Instagram's Hayes Jared Bear. I think it is. But Jared's the best. He's really talented. And because we have so much time, we're on quarantine, it was just perfect to make a song. And yeah, it was for my YouTube video where I was going to make a song in a day was the thing. And it took a lot of work, but I am really happy with it. And I got more of a positive reaction than I ever thought I would. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you liked it.
It came out well, and you had a whole like kind of music video for it, like a quarantine music video, which I love.
Oh yeah, it was just like random places in my house.
Yeah. How do you sort of like strategize your like social media content? I mean, I'm sure you don't have like an Excel sheet or anything, but like, what do you like focusing on? Because you actually have like really good content. Some actors, it's kind of like whatever, but yours is really solid.
Thank you. It's hard because like it's really weird. Like one of my friends got on to me the other day and they were like, your account's looking too social media-y. Like it looks too like a social media person, which is a real problem for actors because they don't want to tip the pot and look like they are only an influencer. But at the same time, how am I not supposed to look like a social media type person when I'm on social media posting?
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is a secret. I have a second account where I just where I just post, and then if it looks really weird on my feed, I change it. That's my secret.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. A Brighton burner account.
Yeah, it's a Brighton burner account. And it
Wow.
literally looks identical to my Instagram.
Yeah. Everyone check out at Brighton burner
No.
on Instagram. No, I'm kidding. That's not a real thing. Is it? I don't know.
I would die. Oh my God.
I'm guessing it's on private.
Yes.
That's smart.
100%.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Do your friends follow it at all, or is it just for you?
No, I don't let nobody know. I don't let nobody know. Trying to follow it and see all my weird pictures that I never post, luckily.
In quarantine, I guess, like, other than making music and doing music videos and stuff, like, have you been, like, watching anything else? Like, is there anything that you've gotten into or any new hobbies or anything?
Let me think. But definitely some new hobbies. I've learned how to do my nails, like my acrylics. And that sounds dumb, but I have been spending so much money on acrylics when quarantine's not, I've been spending so much. Like it adds up. You don't feel like it's a lot, but then if you're doing it every month. So that's one thing I'm proud of. I finally figured out how to do my nails. So
Yeah. Nice. You should do your boyfriend's nails next time. That'll be the next YouTube video.
Me. He's got purple hair right now. He would be so mad.
Just go all out. If he has the purple hair already, you might as well. I mean, you cut his ear, you've dyed his hair orange. You might as well give him the nails.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. So when this whole thing is over, what else do you have coming on? I know you have, you're in Players, and you also co-produce that?
Yes, that was one of the first things that I had ever been a producer on. So I was especially excited about Players. It felt like very close to me. I hope we get a season 2. That was like one of the most fun things to work on. And I also have a movie coming out called Beckman.
Okay.
That one's really interesting because it's kind of like, honestly, like a little bit of a weird mixture of like Miracles from Heaven, Walking Dead, because it's got some Christian-y stuff in it, but then there's a lot of violence in it too. It's like an interesting mashup for Beckman.
Wow.
Yeah. And let me think, just doing my YouTube, and maybe I'll release more songs soon. I want to.
You should, honestly. Like I said, some actors try the whole like song route, and you're just like, but
Yeah.
I don't know. You definitely have something. What do you do you want to like keep with the acting, or do you want to do the singing more like full time, or is that just like on the side, like, or do you want to like go full into like being a producer, or are you just like sort of a multifaceted person?
I want to do all of it, honestly. I
Yeah.
love all of it. So that'd be the plan, to just be able to I want to do whatever I can, get things moving.
Right. Before we leave, I saw doing my research, some of your interviews, you were at Halloween Horror Nights, which I've been to a few times. So fun. Did you actually go into any of the mazes?
Oh my gosh, I didn't. I mean,
Oh no.
if you were watching the interview where I was like 11 or like 12 or 13, I definitely didn't. I was so chicken about it. But now I do. Like the last few times
Okay.
at Halloween Horror Nights, I go through all the mazes. So I finally
What's your favorite one?
The least scary ones. I'm still a little chicken about it. What was the
Oh
one?
man.
There was one that I liked. What was it?
The Us one last year, I think it was last year, was really good.
Oh yeah, I did the Us one. The Walking Dead one's fun, and I think that one's there year round.
Yeah,
Not just
they're actually getting rid of it. And I know get this, Secret Life of Pets, which is
what
that
is
is that even big enough to be a thing? And then I look, it made like $400 million, and I was like, all right, I guess it's a thing.
I do feel like probably like Universal's like definitely something that you would take like your kids to, and so that would
I
make sense.
know.
That sucks though. No.
Well, that actually wraps it up for me. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Tell the people where they can follow you, not on your burner accounts.
Oh, got you. Please don't look for my burner accounts.
Yeah, don't look for it, guys.
My Instagram's Brighton Sharbino. My Twitter's Bright Sharbino, and YouTube is Brighton Sharbino. And yeah, Snapchat's Brighton Rose.
Brighton, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for talking to us, and enjoy quarantine, and hope to hear some more music from you soon. So
Thank you so much. This has been so fun.
of course. All right. Have a good one.